Showtime. It's showtime. The District Attorney, Scott McNamara, in here right now. Good morning, sir.
How you doing, Bill?
So here, grill the senator. That's why you're here.
I've been waiting for this for a long time.
This is the cross-examination. Let's go.
Remember, Scott, that we did not act on the Prosecutorial Misconduct Commission, so it'd be nice.
Actually, and I want to thank you for that, because I know that you listened to us, and we had some serious concerns about that bill. And really what we were concerned about with that bill is that it would bring the system to a halt. I mean, because what's going to happen if that bill gets passed is, if you just take a regular fact pattern, where you have a case and say somebody gets raped, and then the defendant makes an allegation of prosecutorial misconduct, now we have to go try the prosecutorial misconduct civil end of it, and it's really going to be used as a discovery tool for defendants. So, that the DA's Association, myself, we'd work hard. There's things that need to be fixed with the system right now, the way it's done, and and we're working on that. I mean, we want to make it more transparent when prosecutors are grieved and punished. We want that to be public. I think there should be a report that's submitted every year to obviously to the Senate, but also to the public, where they can see what prosecutors got punished and what they did wrong and what the results were. And and I think one of the most important things that could happen is that there's a report back to the person that files the grievance, because right now that doesn't happen. So there's a lot of things that we can do, and I hope we can count on your support and the Senate's support to get these things done and make the system we have better.
Well, we've worked well together, and I've always had an open door, as you know. I think you do an excellent job. You've been a hands-on DA, and I appreciate all of your work, and I respect your opinions, and we worked on a number of other issues that you brought to our attention. There's a lot to do. So, yeah, this is going to be a conversation that will continue to go on, and look forward to continue to work with you in the role that you're having with the DA's Association across the state.
Pretty soon you'll be stuck with me as the president.
I love it. I love it.
I want to bring up a couple things. I had
Sure.
somebody asking the question in regards to the police officer in Rome whose child died in the car, which was a horrific story. But somebody asked the question, and I believe I know the answer, but I'd like to clarify it with you. The daycare, the child was supposed to go to the daycare.
Right.
Did the daycare contact someone when the child didn't arrive?
No, they did not.
Okay.
No, they did not.
All right, so that's different than what I had heard.
No, they did not contact the mother or the father. The first time.
Now, not to throw blame, but by chance it would have been it could have saved the.
It could have. They did not. I wouldn't say I would blame them. I don't know what the situation was. I know Michael didn't go to daycare the Monday before, and he didn't go to daycare the Monday before that. But the first that they found out that Michael wasn't at daycare was a little after 4 o'clock when the mom showed up to pick Michael up.
That was what it was. Boy, just a tragic, terrible story.
Yeah.
The other issue is we're being pelted with this story that seems to be surfacing about an assistant DA that we're now believe that he stepped down,
Yes.
but there was some impropriety, and
well,
what happened there?
Sure, I'll tell you exactly what happened. I had an assistant district attorney that he had worked for me for quite a period of time, and the way things used to be in Utica City Court was a little bit more lax than the way they are now. Once Judge Belzano retired, he had a certain way about him, and the new judges are a little bit different. But anyways, he filed something with the court, and he didn't stamp it in. And when he filed it, what he did was he went into the judge's chambers when the judge wasn't there and his judge secretary wasn't there. The door wasn't locked. He didn't break in or anything. And he put the answer in motion into the file. He didn't stamp it in, and it was wrong. And it was brought to my.
He was trying to get it in because
it was due. It was due that day.
Did he predate it, or it was
well?
Dated that
Actually,
day?
he didn't. Well, he didn't really predate it. What he did do was he didn't switch the date on the. The date on it, if my memory serves me correct, is June 1st. The actual case didn't happen until after June 1st. So,
okay.
But what he did was, and we all do it, when I answer a motion, I basically use a motion that I've used before. He never changed the date on the motion that he copied from. So the question was, the allegation that was being made was that he predated it to trick the court. That really wouldn't make sense in the fact pattern that it's done, but nonetheless, it was sloppy work, and there's no reason for him to put it in the court's file without having it stamped in. He was confronted with it, and that's not something that I approve of, and ultimately he resigned as a result of it. So it's a tragic thing, but I heard the caller yesterday. I don't know what the cover-up is. There's no cover-up. As a matter of fact, to be honest with you, when this issue was initially brought to my attention by Judge Tormey, who's the overseeing judge, that he's actually out of Syracuse, I told him to report it to the Inspector General. That's who would investigate public corruption. Yeah. And I wanted a full investigation. To my knowledge, there still is an investigation. I mean,
could criminal charges come from that?
What's that?
Could there be charges?
I don't know. I mean, the question is, was he trespassing? I mean, I don't legally think he was trespassing because he has a right to be there.
Right.
He shouldn't have done what he did. I think it's more of an ethical issue than a criminal issue, and I know that a grievance has been filed against him.
Okay. All right.
So and like I said, I mean, he's resigned. It's unfortunate for him. I know he has a family. He's not a bad person, but he made a mistake, and he lost his job.
Does his name become public?
I don't want to make his name public. Okay. Somebody else wants to make it public. I consider it a personnel matter, but as I talked to Jeff Manansky yesterday about this, I mean, I don't hide things. I try to be very transparent, and it's one of those things that happens, but I try to respect his name, and
right. Well, we're in cahoots together, just so you know. We're all part of the cover.
First. Although you and I were going to have a beer one time, and I see some beer over there.
We do. I think that's why we brought it here today.
We got Pacenti here too, So.
This could be, a lot could get done over a beer here.
Right.
All right. Well, listen, I appreciate the time. Anything else you want to add there,
thanks,
Senator?
Scott. Thanks.
I just want to say you do a great job, Senator, and you've always been there for law enforcement. You've done a lot of things for us. You've got some bills passed for us, and thank you for the job you do. You represent our community well, and it's good to call you a friend.
Thank you, Scott. Appreciate that.
All right, good stuff. DA Scott McNamara, Tony Pacenti coming in next, and then we do have beer, and I believe there's some Trump rally supporters that are gathering around here, around their. I'll stop, Joe. I'm sorry. I'll break. We'll come right back. We're at Daylight Donuts in New Hartford on WIBX.